Hello traders, happy weekend. How are you? Vladimir Ribakov here from Traders Academy Club, and welcome to the weekly markets review for the week starting on 15th of April towards the 20th of April. Previous week was very interesting one. Many of the pairs that we were following were moving technically as we expected, as we wanted, providing us some great opportunities. And this week I expect many pairs to do the same, but I would like to start with, of course, the political and geopolitical events that unfortunately surround us on the last couple of days. The attack from the US and the European countries in Syria, the fear and uncertainty from the relations with Russia accordingly, and all that. No one knows what's going to lead to what. I'm not going to enter the political discussions, of course. I just want to pray and for everyone for safety, mainly for the Syrian people, and I pray that all this craziness would finish, and would finish as soon as possible. It's crazy even to think about it, what these people are going through, and my prayers are to them, and that we will not be exposed to anything crazy. But such things could affect the markets. How? No one knows. So someone will tell it could affect a strong dollar, someone would say exactly the vice versa. The bottom line is that's uncertainty, and we don't know how it's going to affect. What could happen due to the last events, the market could gap up or down, no idea, but we could expect be exposed to gaps. So the beginning of the week could be tricky a bit. It's very important to remember that. And now let's begin. So we will go over the best opportunities we have for this week. But first of all, I would like to take a moment and thank you very much for your time watching this video. If you enjoy the video and enjoy the things I bring with me for you, please show your support back on the video below. Hit the like button, leave your feedback, my motivation to keep on doing that every week on a weekly basis for you. On Monday I will release the weekly review PDF. So this is basically the written summary PDF version of this video for you. It will be shared on the description on the video and also in my comments. So come back on Monday and it will be sent for you. And of course you can also sign up to the newsletter, unless you are if you are still not there. You can sign up to the newsletter in the blog vladimirribakov.com and enjoy from my emails and get notification when it's done. Okay, so let's go quickly over the fundamental events, what we could expect this week. We have retail sales and the core ones in Monday on the US, then the monetary policy in Australia with the GDP in China, which would be effective on the Pacific and the yen pairs mainly. Average earning in Britain, and of course the CPI in Britain. It's very important to pay attention to it. That will be on Wednesday. Then we have the cash rate and the statement to follow in Canada. I would pay attention definitely to the CPI in Australia and New Zealand as well. Note the expectations are pretty high. That could be pretty bullish with the expectation for the New Zealand dollar, and according to the changes, that would be the one to show basically most likely the direction of the coming period for this pair. Unemployment rate and employment change in Australia, retail sales in Britain on Thursday, and end of the week with CPI and retail sales in Canada. So the first pair on the list is the euro versus the dollar. The pair is still stuck inside a range. Now it's slowly forming into a triangle. So the way I see that, currently it broke this trend line and holds below. As long as that's the case, I would be looking for sell opportunities. at the moment we break above, the euro dollar is going to take us towards, if we manage to break that and hold, then we are going towards the 126 zone, 125, 126 again, maybe even all the way higher towards the 130, 131, but it's too early to even think about it. It's a good opportunity to take a look on the basically the US index, because the euro is many times kind of a mirror to that. So that's exactly, you see this, and you see the euro dollar, and you would see pretty much the same, just a mirror. It's amazing, isn't it? That just once again proves that the euro dollar is the most tradable pair in the world. Crazy to think about it. So what do we have here on the index? Let's start with the big picture. According to the big picture, we were in first leg down correction. We are now completing second leg down, which suggests that lower. We have the trend line, and excuse me for my drawings here. I'll try this one. So it has the room lower. Okay, we have a beautiful supportive area here, which is currently holding, and one lower is around the 85 area. And according to the weekly cycles, if we drop the Fibonacci levels, at 61.8 is on the current zone. We can spike above here and dance to the upside, but the 100 is the one that could be concerning for us. So I think the way it behaves right now, that it will not be surprise at all if the dollar will actually go down, test this zone, retest this area, and will start from there climbing to the upside. Looking on a daily chart, it gives exactly what the euro dollar does and gives us the triangle. So if we break below the triangle, I believe it's exactly the case where we are going down. If we are holding above this broken trend line, and many things would be defined by the political and geopolitical changes, if we hold this broken trend line, then we can look for, this is the trend line, right? Here. We can look for pullbacks, breakouts, and possible rallies. So this is exactly what I would be watching to trade. That's the way, and according to the development of that, would be effective on all the rest of the pairs. So the euro dollar was the first one I wanted to discuss about. Pound dollar, as for now, holding its bullish momentum. Yes, the divergence is developing here. Yes, it's potential double top, but I just want quickly to remind you that according to the weekly 50% retrace suggests us 145, 146, and if we take a look on the monthly double cycle, that suggests us the 38.2 to here. It's above 150. So the pound dollar, despite of all, still has all the reasons to continue bullish. You know, to make it simple, currently we have few trend lines. We have the big one, we have the last one, and the middle one, sorry, and we have the last one. So as long as the last one does go and hold, I think the pound dollar remains bullish, so pullbacks still to be bought, and 145, 146 could definitely be a great target for longs. On the short term, we do have here cycle of, let me try to draw it here, this kind of brutal idea, triple double, so we can go and continue further. We have the divergence right now. This is a double cycle, so it might be a very sorry, wrong Fibonacci. It might be a very great level to start and see some kind of corrections. And for the short term, if we do manage to break this trend line, right, I would even suggest to break this low. We could go and look for pullbacks, and at the moment of the breakout here, it would be a good opportunity to take a short-term retrace. Okay, and once the retrace happens with the bullish evidences, we'll be looking for buys. The best place to look for these buys are if the trend line is not broken, right? Is this cube. If it's broken, then we have the next level. Okay, and according to the daily, we have the levels marked here. Now if you take a look on the statistical part, that's basically pretty much interesting, I would say. Know that 18, 19 are very powerful days, and that they will be in the middle of the week. So the pound dollar could dance here for some time, maybe even try to go higher. But these are the days when I would start to pay attention for a possible beginning of retrace. Okay, so that's for the pound dollar. Euro pound was and remains bearish for us. I would pay attention to this little divergence developing here. The plan is the same: rallies and sell. Okay, so that was the plan here. I want to remind you that we are in a sell position with the weekly triple cycle, so we expect 1, 2. According to the development, we take a look here on the first cycle. Development 61.8 is right here, suggesting short-term pullbacks. Later on, that's the level we have right here. Okay, and who knows, maybe all the way down to the gap, the same gap from the Brexit time, right? Which fits in the weekly cycle 50%. It's pretty much amazing, and that's where I believe we are going. And for extension, if we go only with the first leg, it brings us again exactly to the same place. See that? Pretty much amazing. So the euro pound is very beautifully bearish. Every rally is a possible opportunity for us to start looking for the bearish evidences, such as bearish hidden divergence, false breaks, trendline breakouts, Fibonacci retracements zone. If we take a measurement on the Fibonacci retracement zone, and bearish candle patterns. So basically the pair has great opportunity for us here. Another pair on the list which I have on this week is the dollar versus the yen. The way it looks, the dollar yen is going towards 38 up to 50% of this daily cycle, so that should be here. Okay, now according to that, we would be looking for retraces and buys, retraces and buys. To go to the 4-hour chart, we get a triple cycle here forming. 1, 2, 3, bearish divergence in play, and this is a great zone, so it could bounce down to this area or this area and continue higher to our cube. So buy retraces on the dollar yen and look for the bullish evidences on the critical areas, supports and trend lines. The next one on the list is, well, New Zealand dollar is not really on my favorites. Aussie Kiwi is the one I would pay attention to, definitely. I would like to see this trend line broken for safe entry. So once we break this trend line, pullbacks and retraces. Retraces and buy opportunities, of course. If we retrace down to here, then that's our zone that we should be looking for the reversals and continuation higher. So it's warming up, it's coming, it's going to happen on the next several weeks. Be there when things happen, very simple. Next one on the list, it will be the pound versus the franc. I would pay attention to this pair because we are right on the 61.8 of the extension here and 50% of the weekly cycle. Critical zone. So in order to start looking for these sales, what I would be preferably watch here. No, what is my Fibonacci to remove here? What I would be looking to do here is to take the big view that we have here, the daily trend line. There is no divergence in the 4-hour chart on it, okay? It's on a daily cycle. Get the breakout, pull back, and possible sell-off. And the alternative is, if it doesn't follow this way, then we are looking to go for buys with the weekly bigger cycle, and that would be 1, 2 here, or slightly lower, and the deeper buys forward, because I want to go quickly to the monthly cycle, just to remind where we go to the long term. And here we are going much further. So every pullback that we will get is a buy opportunity for very long term. But this is the critical zone that it's building up. I think on the coming period it will go up. It will go down. We have the critical zone right here, which we do need to pay attention to, and I would expect some sells. Keep an eye, 15, 18 critical times can go and start to provide us some sell opportunities. And the next one on the list, Aussie. Well, this one's, to be honest, not clear for me. I'll give my view here. According to daily triple cycle, the pair can go towards 38.2 and 50%. This is the zone that it can go up to. So as long as we are here above the invalidation level, pullbacks, and I think we can go buys towards this area. And the best places to do so, of course, would be some beautiful action zones, I would say, surrounding of the 070, 077. That's the place where reasonable buys could go and start to happen towards the daily cycle. Besides that, to be honest, I don't see anything clear. I just want to share it because I was asked about this pair several times, so I want to cover that. Pound versus the Kiwi now, versus the Canadian, sorry. As I explained on the previous weeks, we have here double cycle. Each of these legs was built as a sorry, I want to do a different color. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, which means simply this, as long as we are below the invalidation, we should be looking to sell rallies. If we take a look on the 4-hour chart, that is a triple cycle for us, 1, 2, 3 special cycle. So we could get 1, 2 and sell, or the alternative for that scenario would be a range, and then we will be looking to sell top of the range for further continuation. The best places to look for these sells is, of course, the beautiful magnet zones. I would not be surprised if we get anything like that. So sell rallies is a very good plan for pound versus the Canadian. Kiwi Canadian, a pair that we also were selling. We need to start and pay attention to this kind of development. I suspect that once we clear this area right here, once we clear that, this is the place where we can start the short term rallies again. So to pay attention to this zone. I suspect this is how it's developing. If we get there, we might be expecting some rallies to take place. And that's basically the best opportunities as we have them at the beginning of the week for the Forex. And the last one basically I want to discuss about is the euro versus the yen. Here we got a double cycle. 1, 2, so we expect 1, 2 to the downside. On the daily chart, it's forming a double correction, bearish hidden divergence, okay, hidden divergence, okay. and these are the places to start and look for bearish evidences from my point of view. So that's for the Forex part. Commodities. Now gold still fighting and dancing inside this range. So as long as that's the case, it could do anything it wants. If we manage to break, retest and hold above this area, okay, then we can start looking for the turnarounds and ups. If that's the case that happens, we are going towards the next important level, which would be around 14,500. If that refuses to gain this momentum and continues to hold, then I would be marking this trend line, and if we break below that, retest, and we can go further all the way to the trend line. Same with the silver, which is still stuck inside the daily range. We have a big one and we have a short one, so we must break. If we get a break, retest, hold, right, then we can discuss about buys. That's all. If we break to the downside, right, then we're going for this double cycle, bottom of the daily range, and buys again. That's my view for the gold and silver. Oil continuing its bullish momentum, and we are going towards here, 70, the psychological zone 70, which is also suggesting 74, which is this 38.2 of the monthly double cycle. So oil is yet bullish, and I think that as long as the trend lines are holding, right, we have the level here, here and here, pullbacks, and we are going further up. Okay, that's my view here. As per indices, I've been asked a lot during this week what's going on there. So this will be affected by the situation, of course, geopolitical. Basically, that's the corrections we currently have. So this and this are the areas where I would expect the DAX to continue to the sell. And same with one of the interesting opportunities, FTSE of the UK, of course. I'm bearish here as well in the longer view. I would like to get two waves here towards this area or this area and start looking for the sells. That's my view here. And the one I would pay attention to as well is NASDAQ, for the reason of triple double. I think it could be very interesting opportunity. So once we go below, pull back, trend line, and we can start looking for the continuation sell. And one of the stocks which is interesting to me is Facebook. According to the weekly cycle, we should be looking for the sells. Further continuation on a daily time frame. We are building up here a bearish hidden divergence. So I think the closer we get there, the most probable the sell should be. And cryptos, Ripple broke the trend line, so as long as it holds here, I would be looking for further continuation. Bitcoin Bitcoin, here we are. Basically still has the room to go lower, believe it or not, but we definitely need to pay attention to this attempt and this attempt to break. If that happens, it becomes an invalidation area for possible buy setups. And of course we can keep going and going. You remember on the previous weeks we have been talking about Ethereum versus the Bitcoin. You know, I presented that as one of the greatest opportunities. We got the breakout finally happening this week and gaining a beautiful rally. So those of you who are in from the previous week's discussions, like a couple of weeks ago or triple of weeks ago, we started to discuss about it. It's a great one to follow. I think it's a really good opportunities. And again, I can keep going and going. We have the IOTA, of course, with its trend line. Okay, we have the Monero. We have, of course, the Zcash. They all do the same. The low is invalidation. What is most important in such cases is don't overexpose. As simple as that. Don't overexpose. They are in the kind of situation that they follow each other. So choose the one that give you the best of the risk reward with the minimal exposure and risk. Attack. That's all. So my dear friend, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and this is helpful and beneficial for you and your analysis. Feel free to share with anyone who you believe can enjoy this video. As I said, your support back, your feedback is the motivation I get to keep doing it for you. It's just for your use, you know, and just to be there and try to help you out in the market conditions, you know, to provide where to keep your focus at, and that's all. I invite you to join us to join the Traders Academy Club if you are still not a member, and follow our live trading on the daily basis in the live trading room with all the setups for all the instruments. What's bullish, what's bearish, what's for short term, what's for long term, what's valid, what's not valid, what's trap, where are the traps in the market, very important, and mainly how to apply this little thing that traders suffer from, the wish to always trade, always make money, and in reality the need of using patience and waiting for the right time to trade, because timing and patience are the most important things in trading. You know, there is a great saying that the market tends to move after all the early traders gave up. So many times you probably found yourself in a situation where you enter the trade, you expect something to happen, you enter, you fail, you re-enter, you fail, then you say leave it alone, and boom, it happens, and then you scratch your head saying, but it worked, why I wasn't inside? Timing is very important. This is exactly where I can assist with in a Traders Academy Club. So that's one of the things the traders have to always work on that for themselves, in order to be able to mainly avoid mistakes. Because, you know, on the situations when you touch anything and it works, it's easy, everyone makes money. But on the situations where the market creates traps, it's very important to know to spot them and hold your horses before you take an action. That's all for now. So thank you once again for watching this video. I'll see you in the live trading rooms. I wish you a wonderful trading week, and mainly safe one to the beautiful world we are living in. And I hope that all this craziness that's going around the world will finish with no people hurt, losing lives, losing people we love. Sending my best prayers to better days. That's all. Thank you guys. and I wish you a wonderful week. I'll see you in the next weekend. Yours, Vladimir.